I think for me, this whole situation has just been like, kind of like you said in the beginning, a real chance for growth. I've been kind of, everybody's had to change their priorities and change the things that they prioritize, which includes, being socially involved with people and friends and family, and all of that changes. And when that changes, it's like your psyche, your mental, the way that you process things, everything changes. Like, you don't even realize how much of an effect that has on you. You know what I mean? Human interaction, seeing people every day. Like when I got out again after being like in the house for like 3 weeks straight, I can't tell you, just walking outside and going to get some food, like I was just like way happier. You know what I mean? So it's definitely forcing people to think more and maybe read and just maybe even, I don't know, tackle things within themselves that they didn't have time for or were trying to push away, or, you know what I mean, avoid. You can't at this point. So I think it's a good thing. Like, I think, there's a lot of craziness going on, but I think regardless of everything happens for a reason. Like, we all know that. And with that being said, I think focusing on that is key in all of this, throughout all of this, like whatever's supposed to happen, like this is supposed to happen. We're supposed to be locked in ourselves inside of our houses. Okay, why? So should I be reading more? Is this for me to be closer with my family? Is this for me to figure out my figure out how to get more financially stable? Is this, whatever that is, that's the way that we have to look at this. Like, you know what I mean? So I see what's happening, and I see the problems, and I see that there is chaos and stuff, but I don't feel like I'm in a chaotic time, or like I'm because it's just, like I said, it's just kind of trying to have the best perspective throughout all of it. You know what I mean? And focus on what I need to focus on, and what we all need to focus on. Like even with the song, like with Love, and I don't know if you got a chance to hear it. It just came out, and the whole message is, to kind of focus on love, and regardless of what's happening, whatever it is, like, got to keep your head up. We got to just keep pushing through, because at the end of the day, like, we cannot dwell into anything negative for too long. It's just not good. You know what I mean? So let's, yeah, I don't want to keep rambling. I could go on about this all day. It is something that is very deep, but from my side of things, like, my music is just like something that I pray on, like I pray for. It's one of the main things that I pray for and that I pray about. And so, lacking knowledge about the frequencies is for sure thing on my end. Like, I'm aware of it, and I know, but I'm not gonna say that I'm like super in that. Like, I've heard people, like you said, I've heard people talk about like what frequencies provoke this emotion and that emotion and different things. And so I understand that is a thing, but for me, it just more comes from like a constant and like everyday like prayer, every day like having that with God and being like, listen, like this is specifically what I want. Like, this is specifically what I'm trying to do, and this is specifically what I'm trying to get, the message I'm trying to get across. You know what I mean? I think people have to be careful as artists when the music that I was having this conversation with a friend the other day about like the music that you make and the music that you release, because as artists we make so much music, so it's easy to get caught up on the music that we've made and be like, oh, this is the type of person that I am, this is the type of artist that I am. But the type of music that you put out, it is what dictates what type of artist you are, regardless of what type of music you make. So I think that people have to be careful of the type of music that they put out, because that type of stuff will come back to you, because that's what you are publicly known as and viewed as. So like if I'm all about like hoes and money and that's cool, but to a certain degree that would be the main thing that comes back to you, and that after a certain point is like, okay, is that what you want though out of life, or like, you know what I mean? So I think just the more I grow, I'm 22, so like the more that I figure out what I'm trying to say, the more that I figure out what type of music that I really want to put out there, the more I figure out who I am, and the more I figure out what message that I have for the people, for the majority, and just, you know what I mean? Like, I just really want to push like positivity and like good vibes and good music, and just like really being comfortable with who you are and like promote. And yeah, no, that's a great point. It's like thinking about the time that we're in right now, thinking about like some of the greatest artists, whether it was like Stevie Wonder, the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, these people were all around during a time where there was like so much craziness happening in the world. Like there was a war happening. There were people like, you know, police brutality was happening, of course, but you know, on a crazier scale. Like, you know what I mean? So thinking about the type of music that they made and the way that their music impacted the world is what I pull from, because it's one thing to like, I don't know, I make a lot of music, you know, so like I just made a song right before I came on here called I Can Tell. And it's like totally different than Love. It's a more fun record, and this is just a more like whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like it's probably not something that people will ever hear, or maybe not something that I would personally release. You know what I mean? But I have to get it out because I am a part of the culture. You know what I mean? So it is, but that's why I said it's a difference between the type of music you make and the type of music you put out, the stuff that you promote, because we all relate to the foolishness in some way. Everybody does. You know what I mean? But it's just about being above it to the point of like, yeah, I might relate to it and I might think that it's funny, but when I'm in front of people and when I'm trying to get my point across, like it's gonna be like something that's impactful and something that's meaningful and something that's gonna like drive society forward. And even if it's a couple of people that it impacts, like at least it's not something that they're hearing every day that doesn't really, or that motivates them in not the best way. You know, it's just, yeah, it's weird, man. With like, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain too, but